Hello and welcome back to the Bench Banter Podcast. And as we promised, we are back here making regular and frequent content. And this is a very exciting week for all football and cricket fans because we're moving into the last week of the IPL matches before knockout soccer, and it's also the last week of Premier League. So we have a lot of big games coming. Super pumped and excited about it. So we have Amitesh joining us after quite a long time, and as we all know from previous episodes, Amitesh is a big Kolkata fan, and this may actually have come to shock to him to see his team actually perform this well. They've always looked like a
Yeah, I
very good
swear.
team, but Amit, I just wanted to hear what you had to say about what you think KKR have done right this time. Finally they put their paper on the field and made that money speak for itself.
Yeah, it's shocking. It is like I think when we did the episode and the lead up to the IPL, it was the same old thing. Like KKR, they've got the team, they've made some good signings, and then I expected the same thing. That they're just gonna go drop expectations, but then they've actually done surprisingly really well this time. I think IPL this time has just been crazy. I mean, I haven't been following all the games, but to the general person who's not an avid follower, it's like mental. You see these scores of 250, 260 being posted on a regular basis and teams chasing it down. The entertainment level is mad. Coming to Kolkata, it's nuts that we're top of the table. I mean, of course, one game in hand, but then it's nuts that we're top of the table right now. I mean, I don't think it's happened before. It's always been like KK just makes the playoffs as the third or as like the fourth team just by 1 point in the last minute, and this time it's surprising that we've actually reached, and I'm fairly confident that we'll win it this time.
Oh, big
Oh,
girl.
big words, big
Yeah,
words.
Because
exactly. No, but actually talking about one particular player who's actually stepped up this time is Sunil Narayan. Like no one expected him to
oh
actually
god,
be so consistent with his batting and his bowling and his fielding. Yeah, what do you have to say?
no,
MVP, huh?
I no, no, yeah, that's that. See, I think we all knew that he had the capability. I mean, for the last 2 to 3 seasons, they've been trying, to send him out as an opener to get that quick scoring and do it quickly. And he's done it, but not consistently. This time, he's been so consistent with it. It's very refreshing to watch. So I think we finally got a set team. I think that makes a big difference. Our openers actually started well this time. Russell's been in great form this time. So it's all clicking together. It's all clicking together, and even the low scoring matches where we thought that we might not have that much of a chance. I mean, versus Mumbai, I really thought that the team wouldn't we wouldn't win. I honestly thought we weren't going to win, and then we just did. I mean, it was just crazy. So it's just that luck factor. I mean, how Arsenal have won 9 out of the 9 games they played. You,
Ha
you know.
ha 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 ha.
Avinash, we said 10 out of 10. We said 10 out of 10. But, it's just that thing, it's just that thing. And it's clicking. And that's the refreshing thing to see because it doesn't always click for Kolkata.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was just going to say it almost never clicks for Kolkata, which is why this is actually really, it's really awesome that it's actually happening for y'all. Coming to another team which is actually having a really good second half, Ashwin, I wanted to know what you have to say, man. One win out of the first 8 games, and then suddenly all step up. Like, when suddenly someone comes and tells you, listen, you guys might have to vacate tomorrow because it's over. They're like, oh no, come, we want to play, we want to play. And suddenly they decide to come and turn up. That is absolutely crazy. And now to think about having to host Chennai, and if you guys win, there's this particular stat which said if you all win by 18 runs, or if you all
Yeah,
win with 11 balls to spare, you guys actually can go through.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's been a great second half of the season, but again, that's the story of RCB, right? Like we've always been there and thereabouts, but never managed to like quite get across that final hurdle. But if you just look at it like from a just purely cricketing perspective, it's been a great second half. But that first half left us with too much to do, I feel, and that's just how RCB is, and you can't get your hopes up as well because CSK have always had our number, especially in the Chinnaswamy. And just when you feel like okay, this is the day we can actually do something, RCB have a tendency to disappoint on the big stage. So I'm not expecting, a great victory or something for us to qualify. I mean, if we do qualify, it would be a great thing and I would be very happy. But again, it'll not be surprising if we end up with like a 140 all out on that final day, and then CSK chase that down in like 15, 16 overs. That's just how it been. I'm not even say, like it's not just CSK, just on the final days or when push comes to shove. uh, till now we didn't have that pressure where we were qualifying. Like at the halfway stage, it was like we were written off, right? We had like 1 or 2 wins in 7 games, and we were pretty much out of it. But then, and that's when we started playing, because then we realized, okay, anyway we're not going to make the playoffs, let's just play freely. And then we started playing, and then slowly the results started turning in our favor, and now we're at a point where we might qualify. And I feel that'll be counterproductive to us, because we'll go knowing that okay, we have to qualify. And in RCB's history, whenever that has happened, we have always been performing bad on that particular day whenever that has happened. So knowing that if we win we can qualify is a very dangerous. I feel it's like a two-edged sword, because on one hand you have to like know your equations, right? If you want to qualify, you need to know like how much you need to score also. But on the other hand, it's like that back of the mind thing where you have that feel ki if we should not lose, if we win we can
Yeah.
actually qualify for do something. So it's a very tight rope that we have to walk on. And whenever RCB have been put in this position, we have always had to like not I mean we have always not performed well. So I'm not expecting great things on Saturday. But having said that, yeah, it's a good comeback by us and to be in this position. But that's what we've been saying for 16 years, right? At this point, we're not really. I'm not. At least me. People who are saying, "Oh, RCB performed well, came back in the second half." Fine. At the end of the day, no one's going to remember who came back. At the end of the day, you need to win your 7 or 8 or 9 games. It doesn't matter if it comes in the first half, in the second half, in
Mm.
the third half. All those things go out of the window, right? You need to win your games. And if this was the first season or the second season, I would genuinely be happy. I would be like, oh yeah, like for example, again, I'm bringing up Arsenal. If this was the first, this is just your second title run in, right? And you're just like, oh, it's such a great happy thing. You're improved. Even if you don't end up winning the title, you're like, okay, fine, we fought so hard. This is our thing. But if this
Yeah.
continues for 10 years, for 15 years, and 16 years from now, we are having the same conversation where City have beaten you continuously,
Mm.
you're not going to have the same excitement. You're like, these guys never cross the damn hurdle, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the same thing with RCB at this point. You're just like, fine, okay, fine, we performed well, but what? What's the big like? Where's the result for it? We're not always going to sustain on vibes, right? Oh, we won 5 in a row, 6 in a row. No one cares about those records. Having said that, it's going to be a good game. Of course, I do need LSG to lose right now. I'm not sure what the score is, but I'm
Mm.
hoping that DC do us a favor, because if LSG lose, I'm pretty sure that CSK game becomes a knockout game. Should be fun. Should be definitely fun. I mean, RCB CSK just unilaterally also it's a big fixture. Now you
Mm.
add the whole last game of the IPL and whole knockout scenario to it. It will be definitely a big game. But it has been raining a lot in the nights over here. So I
Oh
mean
no.
that would be like the one of the most anticlimactic endings to the whole thing. Uh, to actually know, the RCB CSK game started off this IPL, and
Yeah.
most
Mm.
probably it'll come a full circle to decide who gets that last spot as well. So it's a nice storyline, good script, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, I just hope the rain doesn't ruin it all. I mean, Chinnaswamy does have a great drainage system, and it's not like it's been raining for like hours together, but it's been raining
Still,
in short
already.
but heavy bursts. So I just hope Saturday stays clear and at least we get a game, because it's better to like lose the game and say okay we were 2 points shy than to not even get a chance to get that victory, right?
Yeah.
Because CSK are in that position where they don't need to win. Like the rain helps them. So having done all these 5 wins in a row, if we lose, we lose. We're like okay, fine, we were the bad team, but I don't want it to get rained out and be like, what if we had one extra point? What if? So yeah, let's see. But I'm sure. I mean, it's a great ending to the IPL as well. Probably if nobody saw this IPL and they just saw the table and they saw the teams before, you would probably say on the teams that are strong on paper have made it to the latter stages. Your KKR, SRH, Rajasthan, these guys were the strongest teams on paper before the IPL started, and they're here. And so same for CSK, RCB, and LSG, who are always going to be competing for that third, fourth spot at the end of the day. Probably the biggest disappointment would be Gujarat Titans. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
Mumbai, looking at the team, to be very honest, the names are there, but the Rohit Sharma, to be honest, has not performed in the IPL at that level.
Mm.
Not forget last year, for the past 2 or 3, 4 years, he's not been performing at that level. And their bowling lineup, apart from Bumrah, is very, very mediocre. And
Yes.
their middle order, I mean, the names are there, but the middle order is full of hit and miss players, right? You either have your centurions or you have your duck out players. That's all.
Mm. Mm.
And you cannot depend on players like, I don't even know his name, Namandhir, and these guys are not experienced IPL campaigners. They're good breakout stars and all, but you cannot put them in the team and then say, we are a good team, we are a winning team. So on paper, I personally, I would think that when I first saw the IPL teams out, I thought KKR, SRH, RR for sure, and of course the RCBN in me said RCB. But knowing the history of it all, I was thinking Gujarat, Lucknow, and probably CSK and RCB would be in that mix for the final spot. Punjab, Mumbai, and Delhi, I honestly didn't give them a chance. Delhi have actually surprised me quite a bit. They've done well with Fraser Megger coming in and giving those blistering starts. But apart from that, I generally don't think I've been surprised to an extent where I've said, this team has reached this level with, I mean, completely opposite. The only way I would say is Gujarat being that bad and Mumbai being that horribly bad. Like, last,
Yes.
second, last. But, after all that off-season drama with the captaincy change and Pandya coming back and all, I kind of expected that they would not be performing at even the basic level. I genuinely thought they were like probably the sixth or seventh best team, but they turned out to be like ninth or tenth. So that was probably the only surprising factor for me. But apart from that, whatever has happened, game 1, 2, game whatever 64 or 54,
Mm.
if you just remove that out of the equation, you would probably think the IPL has gone the way it's supposed to go. But in between, there's been a lot of drama. Like Amitesh said, it's been a crazy IPL, huge
This
scores. They've
IPL,
fallen.
this IPL is, dude, you know what? I think the cricketing factor is gone, and I think it's just gone entertainment factor up. I swear to God, like
I mean,
I,
I think I already told you about. I already said this on the group. I'm probably that would be an entire whole different topic as to what the IPL has done to cricket. But just summing it up in one thing, I honestly didn't enjoy many of the matches that went to 240, 250, 260
that's what I'm
because,
saying.
like,
It's absurd. It's absurd. And to finish,
I,
when you get to 120 in 6 overs, it's absurd, man.
Yeah, it
you
is.
know,
It is.
the whole point of 120 in 6 overs being something great was the fact that it used to happen rarely, right?
Yeah.
Now
So
it
when
happens
that
every
happened,
match.
you would be like, "Oh, this match is good. This player is good." Now, if you get 60 or 70 or 80 in 6 overs, you're just like,
It's
"Hey, this is a
happening.
bad score, right?"
Exactly.
See, everyone expects the same strike rate of Travis Head or Abhishek Sharma. Oh, I won't even go into that whole strike rate
Let's not
whole.
go into that team of
That's a
SRH, dude.
completely different.
The funny
They,
part is that even if in spite of SRH having such massive wins, right? Such massive wins, scoring 260 and
yeah,
finishing a match in 9 overs, their net run rate is not that good. If you actually look at it, it's pretty
Yeah,
bad
because
for a
they've
team.
been conceding a lot of runs as well, right?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
problem that's the whole problem with the IPL. There's really no, like Amitesh said, the entertainment factor. They've gone for the entertainment factor, and probably many people find it great. But batting is not the only entertainment factor that people. I mean that is
yeah.
there in cricket, right? The whole entertainment factor comes from the fact that there's a good contest between bat and ball. I would rather, I wouldn't mind seeing a 120 all out and the team chasing in the 119 for 9
Yeah,
wala phase
yeah.
also. That is also a skillful game that also requires a lot of temperament and composure. This 260, 250, to be very honest, you're just swinging at everything. You don't need skill, you don't need temperament, you don't need technique. You're
Just
preparing,
power and timing.
yeah, you're preparing flat pitches. The ball's doing nothing. The bats, it's 55, 60 meter boundaries. Uh,
Yeah.
Honestly, even a mediocre skilled player would turn out to be some amazing guy. And this goes back to our old conversation, right? Where you say, "Oh, this guy has performed so well in IPL." That does not translate to the international level. You put these
Yeah,
guys, ask them to clear boundaries in Melbourne or Sydney, where the boundary size is 70, 75, and the pitch has that extra zip, that extra bounce.
And they're all
And
caught on long one, and
these
they're all
guys will
caught on
these guys will
like clear the
absolutely,
boundary.
Shivam, you're saying Shivam Dubey the great, Shivam Dubey this, that. Okay, fine. Purely based on
Nobody said he's
performance,
the great. Okay, I will
purely
not.
based on performance.
Nobody. You can't just throw out the great like that. Shivan Dubey is
No, the
not the
great as in like, oh, Shubham Dubey Shivam Dubey deserves a chance in the IPL, I mean the Indian cricket
yeah,
team and all
yeah,
of those things.
yeah,
And fine, if you're just purely based on IPL performance, that's great. But his footwork, there is no footwork, to be very honest. I mean,
Yeah, he just stands and whacks it.
I
He'll just
saw that
stand
one.
there.
I saw that one Instagram meme where they showed like footwork of players, right? And Shivam Dubey is just 2 foot, like 2 feet, just
yeah.
standing there. Like there's absolutely no movement. A- And you translate this to a T20 game in Melbourne or something against Australia or South Africa or England, swinging conditions or overcast conditions, and you have the ball zipping through on that Perth pitch or Melbourne pitch, and you have to clear a 75-80 meter boundary, and he's going to get shown up, and it's counterproductive to him because then when he gets shown up, no, the same people who are praising him will be like, oh, this guy's a shit batsman. So it
Exactly.
doesn't work like that, right? You have to have contest between bat and ball. If you want to challenge something, prepare good pitches, prepare pitches that have turn, prepare pitches that have bounce, prepare pitches that have swing, increase the boundary size. In Ahmedabad, for example, there's one side of the boundary that has been brought so like in so much that you can literally see like there's half the field still remaining behind the boundary in
Yeah.
Ahmedabad. Okay, some stadiums like Chinnaswamy, I can understand this. The stadium itself is built in such a manner that you can only have a certain length of
Hmm.
boundary, 60 meters, 62 meters, probably the highest part you're going to get, right? But places like Eden Gardens, for example, or Ahmedabad Stadium or Pune Stadium, they have the facilities to increase the boundary
Ground,
size
yes.
also. So if you want to make it an equal contest, at least you should consider all of these things. Not batting is just not this thing. And I feel initially at the beginning of the IPL, many people were like, "Oh, this is a lot of fun." But then when it started becoming the
Now,
norm, right? Now everyone, like many people are realizing that this is not fun at all, and many of these players who are hitting big will not translate it to that's why the likes of Travis Head and all are like, this is like child's play for them, man. This is nothing. He's used to hitting big sixes in Melbourne or Sydney. This, you give him Chinnaswamy, he's touching it, it's going, like he's mistiming it and it's going to uh Cubbon Park, and literally. So it really doesn't make any sense to have this caliber of players playing this level of cricket. If it was a 55-60 meter boundary for me and you, probably it would make sense. For a proper cricketer, you're giving them 60-meter boundaries, you're giving them absolutely no swing, absolutely flat pitch, and they're like, go play. So it really, I feel sad for the bowlers because it doesn't make any sense for them. And with the whole impact player rule, you
Yes.
always have that one extra batsman. So the batsman
hmm.
above you just go hammer and tongs at everything. There is absolutely no assessment of the conditions. Like, okay, what could be what should I do to counteract this particular kind of bowling or this particular kind of bowler? So, I mean, if you find that fun, great, that's great for you. But I personally, I would rather have some, competitive games from both ends. Like some games bat will dominate. Some games I do want ball to dominate. Right? That's the whole fun part of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, from that perspective, I feel the IPL has just been a one whole, like Amitesh said, just like one Bollywood movie entertainment, full mirch masala, but no substance at all. Uh, but at the end of the day, who cares if your team is the one winning the games, right? If
Yeah.
KKR win the IPL, it's going to be that what third trophy. I don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure Amitesh won't care if it comes with a
Yeah,
250
yeah,
score or a
yes,
120 score.
yes,
Same goes
yes.
for RR. Same goes for CSK. And I mean, I'm talking about trophies, so I will not add RCB to it yet. But if RCB do manage to end up winning a trophy in an IPL of this condition where everyone's scoring 250, also, I'm not going to complain. At the end of the day, the trophy is what matters. But really, the stakeholders of the game should really consider what they're doing, and at least help the bowlers out with the pitch making and the boundary size and the impact player rule. I think that would be a great thing to see. Maybe next IPL we'll see how that goes. Though.
It feels
Exactly.
it feels like those video games. Like we used to play EA cricket as
Exactly.
kids.
Yeah.
No, and
exactly.
you just whack, you keep whacking, you set the difficulty to easy level, you just keep whacking, and then the next
Right.
team that comes in, you're bowling, and they're all out within 10 runs. It's a video game kind of thing, the impact player and everything. So it's changed so much, since we started watching. You think back to the
Yeah,
time when McCullum ended up scoring that first game ever in IPL, and McCullum's innings, and that was such a novelty. Now we're not surprised if that happens. We're like, oh, okay, it's IPL. It happens. This,
Now,
this is
if that
not.
happens, you're like, oh, the strike rate is very low. He's striking only at 160. He should strike at 240.
oh, shots fired, shots fired.
I mean,
People who
that's
are watching, I hope you heard this.
I don't. I mean, I don't understand this new fascination with scoring quick scoring. At the end of the day, runs wins you games, guys. You need to have, if a guy is scoring 100 runs, it doesn't matter if it's coming. I mean, of course, it matters if he's eating up the balls. If he's scoring 100 of full 20 overs, but the other people have to bat around him as well. It's a
Yeah.
team effort that takes you to a particular score, right? And just go. Then everyone who hits one single ball six has a strike rate of 600, right? It makes no sense.
Again,
Runs at
shots
the
fired. I know where Ashwin's going with this. I hope the people who are watching are listening.
highest wicket takers in IPL, for example, he's taken 18, 19, 20 wickets. That's okay, but his economy rate is 10. He's still giving you 40 runs, right?
Yeah.
Every 4 overs, if a guy is scoring 40 runs, that's still going to take you to what, 160, 180 there, just there, right? So I mean, I don't understand this fascination with just wicket. It's like a clearly that you, like Amitesh said. I think he put it very well. There was this one thing where he, I mean, that game, that RCC or WCC on phone that you play, no, wherever the
Yeah.
ball is bouncing, you just swipe it to and it goes.
Yeah.
Put it on easy level. So
The timing has to be perfect, and then it just
yeah,
goes to.
so it's just like really sad to see, but that's the game. That's what the younger generation wants, and who am
Yeah,
I to say anything? What can I
yeah.
say?
Talking about what we want, we have one more person who's joining us, a Chennai fan,
Oh,
which is what we needed exactly now. Because before I
oh,
get
it's the
to what
right
I
timing.
wanted to say, I just
Oh
thought,
yes.
Hello, sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
look who it is.
yes,
No, I
Yeah.
thought you
Alan.
were talking about Dhoni when you said about strike rate 600 because we can relate.
Yeah, you can. No, just if that was very subtle, I'll make it a lot more evident by
Yeah.
what I'm going to say now. So, for what you missed, Ashwin was talking about how Ashwin and Amtesh were talking about how IPL has been like a Bollywood movie, and there's been a lot of it's been lacking some masala because everyone's just been doing their own things. Okay, but that climax could eventually be that one very important game on May 18th, where RCB host Chennai Super Kings. And
Yeah.
can RCB, who are considered the underdogs in this fixture, ruin the party not for Chennai Super Kings, not for MS Dhoni, but for all the fans who've been crying for Dhoni to come on the pitch every time the overs reach 18 or 19? So do you think it's possible that I remember on Instagram also I had gone for the last match, the Chennai versus Rajasthan game, and I put a story asking if this is going to be the last time we see MS Dhoni at Chepauk, and 54% said yes. And I was looking at the stats, and only the people from Chennai said yes, and all the others just said no. Okay, so that just goes to show about the toxic fan base, if I may. So Alan Tom being a CSK and a Dhoni fan for so many years now, I
I
want to know
thought
what to say
I thought you were
about.
just going to introduce him as a representative of that toxic fan base. The way you started the statement. You were like, so toxic fan base. So speaking
Wait.
of, Alan is here, so I thought you were going to say
Yeah, I
representative
like how
of.
we introduce. I'm like, what's going on? Wait. So,
No,
first of all,
I mean, he hinted at it. It's up to the audience to put two and two
Figure
together.
out what it is.
exactly.
Yeah.
If I already call
wait.
him a toxic fan, then they'll all already assume that I'm
No,
a toxic
Avinash
fan.
is like, oh, Dhoni has such a toxic fan base. And on a totally unrelated note, here we have Alan.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I
I think it's just coincidental. I don't think he meant it. If he meant, we'll have a separate conversation. It's wait 1 second. So this, I can see a lot of Twitter accounts like Qualify and all with 18 and everything. So I mean, this toxic fan base exists across the country with for all these superstars and Rohit Sharma. I don't know why he's like, why does he have a fan base? But see, first of all, we're all Indians, and Dhoni has done insane stuff for Indian cricket. So I don't really understand it. But I something which Ashwin said, right, about he's sad about the criticism he gets from a lot of fans. And that's the reason he feels bad about Dhoni coming in and this thing and not retiring and all that. So I'm not sure if he touched upon all that. See, the thing is, he was very clear about it during his last presser during the final. It's a gift that he's giving to his fans. Now you can perceive that gift as so many different things. It's a half fit Dhoni or a 10% fit Dhoni. Giving something is like a spectacle. It's just like I brought up the point about WrestleMania where John Cena and Undertaker comes. It's probably going to happen again in 10 years' time where Undertaker is like 70 years old and he's still trying a choke slam, but it's not as good to see as compared to 20 years back. But it's all about the entertainment. I think IPL people take it too seriously after a point, especially RCB fans. It's so funny how they talk about toxic fan base and it's so funny. I think the most butthurt fans in the industry is RCB fans. So I can totally understand why they are so irritated by Dhoni's presence. It'll be super funny on May 18th, if that's right. If Dhoni hits a six and RCB is out of the tournament, like I need that.
No,
We
I'm
need
sure
that.
that will happen. That is
Yeah.
the way it is going to happen. That's how
I
it's
don't
going to be.
understand the sarcastic heart emojis for Dhoni, Dhoni. Like, but I completely understand. It's very sad for us Jadeja. Like he'll tell you how bad he feels about him getting out at Chepauk and people are cheering. This happens only in India. I mean, it's super funny to see that. It's probably going to happen for Kohli as well after 5 years, but he'll be fitter than ever. So I'm not really sure about it. But it's the point is very right. It's about the Dark Knight quote, right? You live long enough to become the villain and all of that. It's that, but it's all about what you want in this tournament. We all want people to watch it. We all want to enjoy the moment. Once Dhoni is out of CSK, I'm not sure if people will watch it with the same emotion as when Dhoni is there. I personally know I won't because I'm already inclining towards Rajasthan, and I want to see an underdog team do well. And I love the head coach, I like the captain, I like the team. So I'm already like, okay, Dhoni has won enough, CSK has won enough. It's time to see someone else do it. I would be very happy to see RCB do well. I mean, they've won 5 to 6 games in a row. I mean, come on, they deserve to be in the playoffs. Just looking at that alone. But now they lost Bill Jacks and everything, and if Dhoni hits a six, then it's probably it. I don't know. It's going to be super fun to watch. I have no tension at all. E Sala Cup Namade, bro. Come on, let's go.
No, but see, that's the thing. You know that novelty fact. You know that it's Dhoni's last season.
Yeah.
It was there last time. Okay, it was 100% there last time. That emotion, I think everyone felt. It irrespective of whether you were a CSK fan or not, because that's when the Indian in you is like, oh shit, it's Dhoni's last IPL. Now, it's got a kind of a watered down effect. If you ask me personally, I'm neither for CSK completely, nor that I'm for RCB. I'm not part of either of these toxic fan bases. But it just feels a bit diluted this time.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thrill is
it's
not there
still-
anymore. It's last time. He should have retired once he won the cup. I mean, it's pretty sure.
When you
But
say
last
this whole
time-
toxic fan base thing, right? That I mean, the RCB CSK rivalry crosses a lot of cricketing threshold as well. So that fan base war between CSK and RCB will always be there. So I mean, it's fun to laugh about and all, but that toxicity will come from both ends. So I'm not even going to defend saying RCB, but the RCB CSK rivalry is a one-off. It's a completely different thing, and it crosses a lot of cricketing barriers as well. But like Amitesh said, the novelty factor, it's like it does. I myself was very, very, I was like, okay, fine, Dhoni's last one, we might not see him. Okay, great, he did his own whatever he did for the country and everything, and that was a lot of people last year. But this year, like I told you guys before also, I'm seeing a lot of people are like, they've realized that, are fine, gift bol ke, how many? What are you trying to do? Like, what are you trying to achieve? And now, right, the problem is, fans, first of all, like Alan said, in India, they turn quickly, right? Now it's got to a point where people before ignored Dhoni's flaws. Okay, they were like, okay, fine. Dhoni has done this. He's hit the World Cup winning six. This, that. Now it's got to a point where you see a lot of these comment section and everything. This much hate for Dhoni I had never seen before. Hate is a part of cricket. That is fine. I'm not saying it shouldn't exist at all. But it's just very sad to see. And now people are noticing, you know what? Okay, fine. He hit that World Cup winning six. But there were a lot of games that didn't go. I won't get into that because that's a whole different thing.
You don't need to.
There are
I
a lot
mean,
of games
they
that
won the cup.
Dhoni
No one
did,
wants.
right?
No one's
No,
asking me
bro,
to.
I don't understand where you're going. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. Like,
I
okay,
don't
see,
understand
Sachin,
this.
right? Sachin should have retired long back, 100 from
Exactly. My
142
point is that
balls.
only. I'm not talking
No,
just
I
about
mean,
Dhoni. I'm talking about everyone. I'm saying there comes a point where you have to not retire, or at least you have to leave at the top. When you're not leaving at the top, right? You open yourself up to extra criticism and extra. When Sachin Tendulkar got his 100th century, between that period of 99 and 100, he was getting a lot of hate, similar hate, for the sole reason that there was a point where he was just playing for that 100th century. Now, now people are like, what is Dhoni playing for? And he's eating up the credit of all the youngsters who are performing for CSK. And it's like I already told you, it's a very, very sad thing to see your own fan base cheering for your own downfall, right? And you're losing the games, and there's a lot of other
but you're
factors. Like I
talking about a
wouldn't be able to.
subsection of fans. I like how any Dhoni fan is a toxic, Dhoni fan. Like, see, I completely understand. Like, say, United fans, most irritating fan base, but not all 7 million or how many of a United fans, right? It's all subsections of this thing. There's toxic Kohli fans. Like during World Cup,
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm saying. So
remember
I'm
some Rohit
saying that
Sharma fans
hate,
want Kohli to be out. Like, it makes no sense.
I'm saying the hate factor with every passing day is increasing. And for I mean, it's as a I'm not saying I'm a big Dhoni fan, but I'm definitely not a Dhoni
Yeah.
hater also. I
Oh,
I definitely
Yeah, he's not a Dhoni fan. Ashwin's not a
I think
Dhoni
I'm
fan.
not
the
a Dhoni
agenda
fan.
was.
I'm not a
I
Dhoni
think he
fan.
got
I'm telling you, like,
exposed with the whole with that 2011, like the fact that you even have something he could have done differently. That's pretty
I never
irrelevant,
said he
right?
could have done anything differently. I mean, I don't think I got my point across very well, but that's okay. The point I'm trying to make is
Yeah.
it's very sad to see someone who was put up on a pedestal by a lot of people who is still there, but is being subject to something which could have been avoided if he had just realized, okay, this was my time and I'm done. Like, let me go ahead and this thing. And like you said, the subsection of the toxic fan base is not making it very easy for the haters to not hate him as well. Every time he hits a 4 or a 6 or something, it's like, oh, he has done some great thing. Are 4 or 6 fours and 6s are being hit by everyone. It's not some great achievement that only he is doing, which is fine. You glorify it as a fan. If Virat Kohli hits a 6, I'll be like, yeah, Virat Kohli hit a 6. But there's a point where you say, okay, fine, he's hit a 6. He's hit a 6. That's great. Dhoni has hit a 6. Oh, Dhoni has hit a 6. See, his strike rate is 600. Rohit Sharma is hitting 0, so Rohit Sharma is shit. Or Virat Kohli is hitting at strike rate 200, so that toxic fan base is making it very hard for the Dhoni. I mean, when you see that much of it on social media, now there come a point where the haters are like, okay, fine, you're saying so much. Look at what Dhoni has done. Dhoni has done this also for India. Like he has done this, he has done this also. So that is, coming to the fore a lot, as much as I am seeing on social media. So I'm just like, fine, he did a great job. He's a wonderful servant for our country. He's been a great captain. It's time. Let him move on. Let him move on to other things, and let the fan base understand that his time was there and it's done. And that will happen for everyone. Like he said, Virat Kohli, 5 years down the line, we'll be having the same discussion, maybe. Same thing for Rohit Sharma. Same thing. This discussion has happened for people like Sachin Tendulkar and Kapil Dev also. So Dhoni is no it's not like, oh, only Dhoni is being hated for this particular thing and no one else has ever been hated. That's just the way Indian cricket is. And if you talk about Indian cricket and Indian fan bases, that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I'm just saying certain things could have been done much better, in a much better way. And I think the more than Dhoni himself, it's the fans that need to understand, and the fans that need to like change their outlook of the game overall.
Yeah, look, I think so that the last point you said is what I think is apt. It's not Dhoni per se. Look, I know a lot of things are under Dhoni's control. Like he could have opted out of this season, but he chose to play. He could come higher up, but he's coming later. I know he has an injury, and that's all there. But the reason why I've started to get irritated with watching a with watching a Dhoni match, not a CSK match, with watching a Dhoni match, is purely because of the fans, and it's so frustrating because when you see, we spoke. I remember Amitesh, Ashwin, and I had like a really intense conversation for over an hour before the IPL started about what IPL is doing, and about promoting youth talent and this and that. So when you have players who, one major thing which we all spoke about that day was how you have all these players who are, probably not great enough to make it to the starting 11 for India, but they're all making good money by playing for those 1.5 to 2 months in IPL, right? That's probably the only time they're playing cricket, but that's how they're making the best out of it. So when those people are given their opportunity to perform, right, and they're all playing well, you suddenly in the 18th or 19th over, it's not just the fans, these MCs and the people who have the mics and tell people to cheer. They're like, who wants to see Dhoni? And then everyone's like, we want Dhoni. And Shivam Dubey is on 49 from 23 balls standing to get his 50, and everyone's screaming, okay, you leave now, we want Dhoni. When Rutraj
Exactly my point. Yeah.
anchoring
Yeah.
an entire innings, okay, from first ball he's batting, and he's supposed to be the chosen one, the next captain for the next big thing for Chennai Super Kings in this big project that they're going, this new chapter of their entire existence that they're moving to. They want Ruturaj to be the crowned prince, right? They want him to take over the legacy. And when Ruturaj himself is batting 18.3 overs, suddenly everyone's screaming for Dhoni. So I do not understand why. And in my head, when I was watching the Chennai Rajasthan match, so Samir Rizvi came, okay, 18th over, and they needed, I think, about 15 runs to win. And I was so sure Samir Rizvi would hit a six, and next ball he would be forced to get out. But he just played and finished the innings. But I wouldn't have been surprised if Rizvi hit a six. Next ball he was forced to hit it up in the air and somebody caught it, so Dhoni could make that grand entrance, because it was a perfect build-up. Okay, I think Rizvi didn't go according to plan. Okay, because
Yeah.
they kept every two balls they kept showing Dhoni wearing one glove first, then the second glove. Okay,
Yeah,
and
all
then
this
wearing,
extra bullshit hype.
No,
I'm like,
that's
bro,
the
who
aura, man.
what is the Duggar are you
That's what
watching
we
the
came
match?
for.
That's
It's
what I'm
like
saying.
John Cena's entrance song, like you came for that.
But Alan, but the difference is Undertaker came only for that particular choke slam. He wasn't wrestling Brock Lesnar in that match.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he took up screen time. No, I completely understand. See, that particular thing, right? With the Shivam Dubey, that's a perfect example. The fact that we're actually cheering for that's something I can't imagine. Like, I'm thinking from a United fan perspective. It's the FA Cup final, and no, we want to see Ronaldo, score, and we would rather have them concede for the substitution to happen. I can't imagine stuff like that. So it's all about what you want from it. But it's a sad thing that CSK as a fan base, we would rather watch Dhoni hit two sixes than to see CSK win. Like so that's the thing, right? You need to ask yourself, what are you looking for from this kind of event? Franchisee cricket is a whole different topic. That's you guys spoke about really well on the first podcast before the IPL began, and I completely understand it's not right to, especially imagine in a national tournament like World Cup, you want to watch Kohli bat or say Dhoni bat. We were very happy against New Zealand that we went to 5 down so that we can have 30 overs of Dhoni. I don't think anyone thought like that. But for CSK, we are thinking that way. It's like maybe as CSK fans, we have seen 5 to 6 wins, and now it's some time to see something new. And like you said, he should have retired. But in the final, he got out, duck out. Like it was I think it was a shot in the cover, and it was a very sad way of going. Even that example, which you guys rightly said, Rashid Khan didn't even want to review. I'm not sure if he felt it's going above the stumps, or is it because he just wanted to bowl to him so that people will get all happy. It's a sad thing, right? Like it just felt like it's WWE entertainment and not like a serious cricket match. It's like some kind of soccer aid or that kind of vibes you were getting. The fact that he defended the third ball after hitting two sixes when you need 30 from 5 balls or something like that. Like it's yeah, I don't know how to
Exactly that
explain
point.
that.
Like,
Yeah,
That's what you were saying. That's what we were talking about just before you joined. That it's become completely entertainment based. The entire IPL has just become entertainment based. It's less about the cricket and more about the entertainment now.
yeah. Dude, see, come on, Amitesh, what's your view about the impact player? This is like you go to a
That's what I
game
said.
show and then they introduce some new stuff, right? We are losing all rounders and to find the next Hardik Pandya. You're talking about talent and giving chance to youth and Dhoni not coming in. Yeah, we want to see some other finisher of CSK. But come on, it's a joke. Like starting from Jay Shah and all these
Exactly.
people.
Yeah, it's
So
like if you ask me, it's if you ask me, this whole thing has been thought out by a bunch of 8th standard kids who wanted to impact their latest video game features in a national level league tournament. Because this is how exactly I swear I think this is how we all used to think when we were in 7th or 8th standard about leagues. Like, oh, we'll have this impact substitution who will come in and hit some six sixes of 6 balls, and he'll
yeah,
win the game, and it's actually turned out like that. And
it's like how
It's mind-boggling, bro. It's like it's not retaining the the essence of IPL that at least we thought it was. Like teams fighting it out. Is there okay, another team makes 250, great. Let's make 260, and it happens. And now it's not surprising anymore. We were just talking about it the other day, Alan. Remember? So it's that's not new.
Yeah.
It's just like a video game in real life now to me. So nothing is shocking. And as far as bringing brand value and entertainment, they're doing a great job. They're doing
Yeah.
a really great job. I
In
can't
Friends, right?
criticize
There's
them.
this thing in Friends. Joey was like, "Let's play Bamboozle," like the Bango card, and a lot of these new stuff. It's impacted, just like you said. It's a joke. So the entire thing, like now, it's like book cricket, sling bambush. I don't think we can score in stick cricket 4-6-6-4
Yeah.
and all those things. So I mean, it's about what you wanted from the tournament, and I'm pretty.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting as like say 6 years back, right? Like IPL. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
but I just want to talk from the other point of view, okay? From as someone who probably thinks impact player is a good thing, I'm just trying to. You guys can hear me out, and then y'all can whatever, you can throw your shit at.
Boo! Boo!
Playing devil's advocate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for starters, so the whole impact player thing, right? So we are talking about how IPL is probably not an Indian Premier League anymore; it's more of an Indian entertainment league, right? So when there is entertainment, you want to add more entertainment elements. It's like when you're watching a dramatic movie, you don't want an action sequence only; you want more drama, right? So this is just that you're just enabling the entertainment to go higher and higher and higher. So in that sense, when you're looking at an impact player, yes, it's cool because there's this whole thing where okay, you know what, you need to chase 270 runs, but your batting squad is not that deep. What are you going to do? Impact player. Or you know what, your bowling squad is not that deep. What do you do? Impact player. Something like that. But what I see is in an entire IPL squad, right? In every team squad, it's not just 11 players. You have a lot more. So you have a lot of foreigners who are coming from abroad. Impact player is a way of giving these people also chances to play. Okay. Otherwise, if you have an IPL team which is performing well, you don't really want to change that. You want to keep that 11 going. You want to stay with that consistency, right? Even in football, that's the same. You don't want to make unnecessary changes unless you have to. But in football, you have substitutions. So if something isn't working, you can take players off. Whereas in IPL, it's not like that. You go in with 11 and you come out with 11. So this impact player is giving not just the foreigners. I'm saying foreigners because I feel they're the ones who are being paid the big bucks to travel all the way and simply sit, wearing their sleeveless t-shirts and shorts and just watch the game from outside. When you can just call them and actually give them, a task like, hey, dude, go there and play now. Or even if it's a youth, an Indian youth, like Ankrish Raghuvanshi is an example who started out like that and came. One second, Ashwin, I just want to complete. Talking about one more positive from impact player, guys, I just want to make it clear, I don't like the impact player rule. I feel we are moving farther and farther away from cricket on a daily
You're
basis.
caught on camera.
but I get to edit this video, so I will decide what goes and what.
Oh no, Ashwin, you do this one.
Just one more point before we go to Ashwin, because I know after this I will not get to talk for the rest of the episode.
You are
No,
right.
no, I just have one point to
there.
say about this.
Yes, yeah. I just
No, no.
complete this. Yeah.
Yeah, you complete, go.
So especially for Amitesh. So I remember I was watching this one Kolkata match, which is against Mumbai Indians, and Kolkata's batting order completely collapsed. And Manish Pandey was nowhere in the picture. Like he wasn't playing anything. And suddenly they decided to throw him out there. He was so rusty. It was the first match that he played, but with him came a lot of experience. And with that came some stability because then Venki Iyer was a lot more confident to play his game. And Venki Iyer spoke about this post-match where he said, having someone like Manish Pandey beside me really gave me that confidence because I haven't been in that situation many times before. But with every shot, more than maybe he was out of touch, but he kept telling me what needs to be done. And they were able to take your team to a very considerable total, which Kolkata were able to defend at the end of the day. So there is a successful story of where an impact player actually made a difference, and that impact was actually there. So obviously there are positives and negatives, but if you're moving to an Indian entertainment league, I don't see why an impact player is a big problem. Now y'all can do what y'all want.
No, if you no, just one thing. If you're talking about the Kolkata game as an example, Avinash, the impact players designed to have an impact. Like it's an extremely bad decision or a bad flop if the impact player comes on and isn't able to do anything. Do you get my
Correct.
point?
That's what
Yeah,
you observe.
no. So, okay. So basically, our point is not against, like, we are not saying that, the impact player is coming on and not doing anything and it's a useless person that you're just switching out. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that you can't do that. You do it in football because the substitution rule works in football because it's 11 players continuously playing for 90 minutes.
Hmm.
You can't do that in cricket.
Mm.
You go in with a team, you go in with a set mindset, and you adapt, or you
Yeah.
lose. You don't take a shortcut. Dude, impact player is like, okay, I'll take out this player and I'll bring in my best player who's just sitting on the bench for no reason. It's like, it makes no sense. To me, an impact player feels like cheating.
Yeah, but it's not cheating if both sides get to do it, right?
No, both sides get to do it, but I don't know. To me, it seems unfair to the spirit of the game. If you ask me personally, that's my opinion.
Yeah, but if just imagine if you're having if you're losing a match, okay, in all sportsmanship spirit and everything, yes, okay, you know what, we're losing this match, we didn't play well, we deserve to lose. But you have an option saying, bro, listen, if you take this idiot out and bring this idiot in, there's a chance he might still be in this match and we can actually win. Who wouldn't take that?
But look, it comes down to the fact that you're giving the team complete. I mean, you're taking the pitch, you're taking the toss, you're taking everything out of equation. First of
Yeah.
all, when you put impact player in, right? When you go to the toss, they already take two team sheets now.
Hmm.
The two
This
team
is my
sheets,
point. Yeah.
they'll give one
Yeah.
team sheet based on the toss that they win.
Hmm.
Absolutely zero sense. Where is the pitch and where is the importance of toss then? First thing. Second thing, that I just wanted to go back to that foreign player extra that you said. It that point is redundant. I'm sorry, because you can only play 4 foreigners at the end of the day. It's not like you're getting a fifth foreigner to like play. So 4 foreigners will be in the 11 regardless. Even if you play with your 11, you can play with 4 foreigners. Even if you
Correct.
use him as impact, you can only use 4 foreigners. So it's
Correct,
not
but
like that guy who's coming in and getting paid big bucks and sitting with sleeveless shorts. It's not like he's getting an extra
no,
chance or something.
I think you got me wrong there. What I'm saying is, if you notice, a lot of the teams start with 3 foreigners, and depending on what's happening, they put the fourth foreigner in. So
Not
that fourth
really.
foreigner
Depends on the
yes, they
situation.
do. Correct, correct. I'm saying a lot of teams actually start with 3 foreigners initially, unless they're sure this is what they want. Okay, in which
Yeah,
case
but
the impact is an Indian. I'm saying that the teams that start with 3 foreigners, they can decide who that fourth foreigner can be based on the pitch conditions of what the score is, not the pitch conditions, I'm sorry, based on what the score is or whether you're
yeah, but at
batting.
the end of the day, right? But at the end of the day, you're still going to have your 4 foreigners. For example, let me just take the most recent Rajasthan CSK game. Rajasthan started with 3 foreigners. They were batting. They had Rovman Powell in case there was a batting collapse, and they had Nandre Berger in case they wanted to bowl with him. And those are the two team sheets. If Rajasthan were bowling first and they lost the toss, right, Berger would already be in the 11. So
No,
it doesn't
because
make
we
any.
have 5.5 bowlers. We don't need an Andre Berger there. The point of having Andre Berger there was because, like you said, there was a batting collapse. So we needed all hands on deck over there. So you'd rather go with another bowler who can give us 2 to 3 good overs, bowling at the pace he does.
So exactly my point. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're taking the pitch, you're taking the toss out of the equation. Anyone
Yeah.
can bat, anyone can bowl. First thing. Second thing, you're literally taking the smarts out of the game, like how you assess the condition. You can play on extra spinner. Someone must have assessed it as a pacey pitch, and he plays an extra bowler. The whole point of the game is one of them will be proved wrong.
Yeah.
With the impact player coming in, there is no wrong, there is no right. You can change as you go. That doesn't make any sense, right? Like Amit said, football is a different sport because 11 players are playing continuously. It's not like and the worst part is impact player, the guy finishes batting and then he's substituted out for a bowler and he goes, takes a shot. The whole point is those 11 players put in an effort, right? If you're batting in the heat at a 3:30 game in Chennai, right? And you're an all-rounder, say for example, and your batting has collapsed, okay? You're an all-rounder. You're coming in to bat at 4:30 in Chennai in 40 degrees. You're batting for 50 balls, 60 balls, scoring a lot of runs, okay? The challenge in cricket is you have to come out and bowl your 4 overs also, right? And you have to have the same all-rounder impact. Those same people who fielded for so long in from 3:30 to 5:30, those batsmen have to come with that fresh mentality to try and chase that thing down. Not just say, you know what, I am tired today, you go. Shubman Gill literally starts off sitting on the bench all the time for Gujarat, and then he comes whenever he wants to. Before, there was at least rules that said if you're playing, at least you should not be off the field for a certain amount of time. Now it's like anyone is sitting, anyone is taking the rest, anyone is coming fielding. Then you're tired, you take him out, and you're batting, you take the batsman out, you put one extra bowler. It like Amit said, I wouldn't say cheating like you said because it's both teams same. I just think it's ethically and morally flawed to the, it's doing a disservice to the game itself when you say it's a competitive game, but then you give the teams a chance to say, okay, what is the point of the toss? To make the right decision. What is the point of the pitch? To make sure you have the correct 11, or you have a suitable players to play for that particular pitch. Now, after the second ball, you realize, okay, this ball is not turning. You're like, spinner, get lost, come, pacer.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, right? The whole point is you made the wrong decision. You read the pitch wrong. Your cricketing smarts were brought into question. Your captaincy skills are being brought into question. All of those things. Nowadays, yeah.
Yes, sorry to interrupt. So I think what Avi said, right, that you both have an impact player to substitute on. I think that's where it's a bit flawed. Like I thought Ashwin is coming to that point, or he didn't verbalize it, that after the toss, the team batting first is going to have a bowling impact player on, and the team like you realize the impact player, they choose a batter for one team and the bowler for the other team. So they need more, because while chasing you need that extra batter. And
They're basically starting with two different teams right from the beginning before the toss itself.
And that's crazy, right? So if you take the ICC Test Championship, I don't know if you guys remember. So Ashwin didn't play. Ravichandran Ashwin was kept out, and that was a huge decision. I mean, I don't rate Thakur that much for a Test match. I think he played over this thing, and they played only Jadeja. So if you had an impact player rule, you'll chuck Thakur out or Siraj or whoever you want, and then put Ashwin in. So that's where Australia read the conditions better. They read the conditions better, and they did certain things, and you're taking that liberty out. That's what Ashwin rightly said. How you're taking that variable out of the game, and that's very, very sad. So in the end, all of us are saying the same point. I think Ashwin, Abhi was trying to play devil's advocate in the positive way about impact player, but looks like all of us don't agree to it, in the sense like we four have answered towards that question, how impact player takes that.
I think one final point, like Alan said, he brought the international game into play. Let me just extrapolate that. Now you're having a Shivam Dube, right? He's just batting. He's not bowling. He's not fielding. Okay. He's a very, very, very unfit fellow, to be very honest. He just stands and hits. I mean, he's powerful, but staying on the field for 20 overs, I've not seen him do. He's not bowled 4 overs. Now, the fans are calling him to be in the playing 11. Dube, power hitter, finisher. Trust me, this is what will happen. You'll go to West Indies. Then you do not have your impact player option. The moment you put Dube in, okay, fine, he'll bat. What happens when Bumrah has a bad day? What happens when your fourth bowler has a bad day? What happens when you do not have a fifth bowling option because this guy can't bowl? And then you cannot say, I'll remove Shubham Dube and get one extra bowler in to supplement my attack. And same, what happens when the top order collapses? Because India is due one top order collapse for sure, right? And then Dube is not there. Then you'll blame the captain saying, you should have played Dube in the playing 11, right? So you go in with that IPL mentality where batting is also there, bowling is also there. But that's not how it works in international cricket. You have to read that's why Australia are so successful in the international format. No, they literally come here, they play for fun. They do not take this game as seriously as Indians do. And that's the whole point of it. They're completely focused on their, international, they read the pitch well. They even in Ahmedabad, they read the pitch perfectly. Right. And they said we'll bat first. I mean, we'll bowl first. When everyone is expecting that scoreboard pressure, they'll probably choose to bat first in Ahmedabad. You'll have that scoreboard pressure and put Suraj. No, he was like, no, I'll bowl. And then he bowled those perfectly. He bowled to the point. Now imagine if Australia had a chance where India were playing, started off batting well, and they're like, no, we need an extra spinner or an extra slow bowler. Then you would be like, oh no, this is not fair, right? Because it's against you. I mean, not you, but people. So impact player is taking the whole cricketing smarts, cricketing brain, that pitch reading, toss winning, all of these things out of the game. And it's just like, and again, it comes down to, crazy entertainment that they want, that the top order just goes hammer and tongs because they know in case they fail, they can always just substitute one guy, and the guy who gets duck out, he gets immediately substituted and an extra batsman comes on. So it makes sense. Okay, maybe that batsman also gets duck out. That is a different question altogether. But you're bringing in that whole thing where how you bat, let's see, one more guy will come. You just bowl, let's see, one more bowler will come. That concept is very fundamentally flawed, according to me at least.
Yeah.
And I think one more thing, and like not anything with the game itself, but these guys under pressure, the last minute, I'm blanking on the name right now. The guy who scored 32 from 5, Rajasthan. I can't remember his name at all. 2 seasons back.
5.
No. The Indian guy.
Tewatia.
Yeah, third year. Yeah. So
Tewatia.
I just blanked on the name. Sorry. So you won't get your Tewatias or your Rinku Singhs if you get an impact player in. You won't discover these players, is what I feel. Because the minute it starts going,
No, you
no, no,
might.
you
I think you won't find their all rounders like the ones like Ashwin said about the whole
Correct.
batting or the
Yeah,
like
the
Shivam
all
Dubes,
rounder
right?
goes
Like
away.
yeah, even Hardik Pandya didn't bowl for the initial period. I think Rahul Dravid said that we need to see him bowl, and then he started bowling 3-4 overs daily. And even Shivam Dubey, I think the first over he took a wicket as well. And then after he got his selection, that's a duck out, and that's pretty much that. I think Abhi said a good point, but see, that's the thing, right? I think the whole Manish Pandey argument about him giving. I'm sorry to take it away from the impact play. I think we all shed enough light and good light on it. The
go
Manish
ahead, go
Pandey
ahead.
came in for vibes, 32 from 28, Badrinath kind of innings. I mean, that's what Dhoni does, right? He's there for the vibes, he's there for the field placement, for the Dhoni review system, and things like that. So it comes back to the same argument that impact player, this whole vibes and giving good energy. That's what Dhoni is there for. When Avi, you were there for the CSK RR game, you could say one of the biggest highlights of the entire game was Dhoni walking into the field and showing his hand there in the outfield. Like showing where to go, what to do, and all that. And if he walked in, that would have been the biggest highlight. Like it's becoming that kind of sport right now. And IPL has a weird aura. I think the one talking point from the entire IPL is the whole 260s and 270s. And I think SR is really put up good, and KKR, like, I mean, Sunil Narayan is still doing it. So I think uh, about the Manish Pandey argument, I think that's a good point for someone like me who's backing Dhoni. So it's really what you expect from the sport and what you guys are looking for. And yeah, I think Avi, you can go on with that.
Yeah, no, thinking about what we expect from the sport, I'm just completely changing to another very, 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 very important match that's going to happen tonight. Another match which has a very similar intensity of May 18th, which is between CSK and RCB. Here again, there's a very, very important match where one team
So
can ruin the team's party. RCB could ruin CSK's fairy tale ending, Dhoni's fairy tale ending. It is very possible that my favorite team, Tottenham Hotspurs, could eventually step up and ruin it for City.
The way you just keep clutching at your chest.
I'm dressed in white. No more Arsenal. It's only Spurs from here on, guys. It's only Spurs.
Avinash, what do we
Abhi,
think of Tottenham?
The best. What do you think of Arsenal?
No, that's not what we have. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes.
he's COY yesterday. Come
Oh,
on.
no, bias. Through and through, bro. Up until tomorrow morning.
Oh man.
You know what? It would be crazy if the whole game starts with full intensity, okay?
Yeah.
And then Tottenham are actually competing, and then just
Again.
and it's 0-0 and it's 87 or 88 minutes, okay? And then the Tottenham fans unfurl a big banner saying, "What do we think of Tottenham?" And then the Tottenham players just stop. The Tottenham players just stop playing, and they're like, "Huh, go now, go." And then Arsenal players are sitting on TV and watching. Oh shit, we never should have done
Oh
this.
my.
It'd be so good, man.
The irony that Arsenal's best campaign is solely relying on Tottenham's performance tonight, right? I mean, this is Hollywood, not Bollywood. This is mad.
But that's crazy. I mean, as an Arsenal fan, you would be super happy to even be there in game week 38, man. I mean, I'm so proud of you guys, even though I can't handle the Arsenal fan. There's toxic fan, Dhoni fan base. Then there's Arsenal gloating fans. Like, that's a whole different league.
And you forgot the level above that. You forgot the level above that.
Yeah, coming from Ireland, it's a bit weird.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, United fans, we'll be so happy when we win the Europe Conference League playoff spot. When we lose, apparently we have to play
I saw this thing after the United match, the Arsenal United game. It's called the Theatre of Wet Dreams.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Oh, God.
I think Abhi, but I hope you're posting this video before the match, because I think after the match it's going to happen in like 4 hours, right? So you guys might be watching this after the Spurs game. So let's see if what Ashwin the 87 minute let's see if that comes true, or are we going to be super happy after it? Let's see. It'll be crazy. But what do you guys think? Who's going to win?
Yeah, Amit, I want to know from as the neutral fan who's been watching the league, right, from way below the table.
I
I just want to
Bro,
know.
he's not below anymore.
we're above you. We're above
Yeah,
United.
he's exactly. I was just about to say, what
We're
is
above
this
United
thing?
in the
We're
table now.
above
What
United
does
right
it mean?
now.
No,
You
let's
guys
not
spend
get
billion
started on
pounds. You have to be there. This is the argument everyone tells
no.
United. It's very irritating.
Let's back up a bit. Okay, I
This
totally agree with Ashwin.
money-winning trophies is such a lazy argument. I
No,
don't
no,
know
no, no,
where
no,
it
wait.
stems from.
Ashwin, Chelsea this season have been exact RCB. Okay, they had a terrible first half,
Oh yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
came back in the second half, and they did well, and they're still doing well. Touchwood. Okay, I'm not saying we've had the best season, but we've definitely made progress. We're winning now.
Exactly.
We are
We're
Mumbai
winning.
Indians. We were always shit. Like throughout. Yeah.
No, but
No, no, no.
but I'm
United are CSK after Dhoni leaves. You are basically next season after Saf left. How you've been? That's exactly how Chennai is going to be after Dhoni leaves. And you're trusting your chosen one, who was David Moyes, now Ruturaj Gaikwad. Okay, I can see
No, I
it all
think you
happening.
drew parallels between
Going to be
CSK and
water
United, right?
overloading. Sorry.
You drew parallels between CSK and United. That's a very good shout, though. That's
Yeah,
you know it, bro.
I actually think
Yeah.
so. He's
You
one of the
saw it
biggest
from
fans.
far. And I think I have
Yeah.
to give again credit to Ashwin. Like he was like, "Hey Amit, bro, it's gonna happen. Chelsea is gonna leapfrog, Newcastle and United." And
Yeah.
you're right.
It actually did
And we are
happen.
going, yeah, and we
It
are playing
actually did
Newcastle.
happen.
So anything is a good result for Chelsea, and someone's gonna drop points eventually. So
Chelsea
Yeah,
will
yeah.
make Europa League.
I'm happy we reached this level, dude. I'm just happy that, like, considering where we were, I think 3-4 months
It's a
back,
start. It's a start. I mean, that's a
it's crazy.
it's good progress. Now you're set. You're in Europe. You can actually utilize that deep squad because now you
Yeah.
have so many players who didn't even play many games. So now you when you enter Europe, you have that chance to utilize your deep squad. Then that's when you unearth your younger players, right? That's how the game progresses. So I'm
Exactly.
100% sure Chelsea will be back amongst the top 5 or top 6 from next season if they, of course, keep faith in Pochettino and maintain their core of players. Of course, they need to sell a few players just because they're dead weight. But yeah, for sure, I think getting into Europe will bring the best out of the peripheral people in that squad for sure.
Yeah.
the
We
entire
should-
team
we
is
should-
periphery, bro. All the but somehow they're clicking. Like
Yeah, so
RCB, like Bill Jacks.
basically, when Pochettino came in, he said like he didn't even know some of the players, right? I remember there was a press conference and some guys like, "What about this player?" And he's like, "Who?" And he didn't even know the player's name.
Yeah.
And Chelsea have like a 33, 34, 35 member squad, right? And
Yeah.
the reason they had a shit previous season and the first half of the season was because there was a lot of influx and outflux from the playing 11. Like he tried to utilize all 30 players, which is not possible
What did happen?
because
Yeah.
you're playing in one competition, right? You're not playing in 4 competitions. I mean, I understand FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and all is there, but it's not the same as playing in Europe. So when you're playing in Europe, that's when you need a 22, 25 member squad to compete, right? And that's when the 16th guy or your real 18th guy, your real 20th guy will come to the fore and make a name for himself. So I think coming into Europe is the best thing that could have happened to that squad. I'm sure. I mean, it's still 33, 34, 35 plus the loan army people. It's going to
Yeah.
be a huge squad. And I think more than buying players, the main thing with Chelsea right now is to sell the players and trim the squad. See, I always have this thing in my head when I create a squad. Even for example, I play a lot of Football Manager. Even when I create that, a squad should have 25 members. Okay, it should have 2 quality players for each position. That gives you 22, and it should have 3, maximum 4 youngsters, or I'm sorry,
Impact players.
3 or 4 young and upcoming players who can fit into any of the positions. So one defender, one midfielder, one striker. So that's always how I construct my a squad. And what I have seen, I've been watching football for a long time now. Most successful teams in the world so far in football have followed this template to success. You cannot win with 15 players. You also cannot win with 35 players. It's as simple as that. There's a 20 to 25 member limit that you need 2 good teams plus 3 or 4 for those one of those ACL injuries or that kind of scenario. That is the best way to construct a squad. So I feel Chelsea really need to work on that, trimming that squad down rather than building it
I
up.
think I think that'll happen, dude. I think that'll happen. But I think we just needed one person to, step up and be that player. And I think Palmer has done that for us this season. Like,
Cole Palmer
that,
FC, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just need one person to do, have an extraordinary run. And, the rest of the team, he's carried the rest of the team up. And, players like Jackson and all who weren't doing anything, I mean, there was a point when I was also so frustrated with that team. And even they are scoring goals now. I'm not going to say that Nicholas Jackson is the next Didier Drogba or anything right now. It's not even close to that. Okay, right? I know there are Chelsea fans who are saying this, but I'm not going to go to that level yet. There's a lot of work to be done. But yeah, it's definitely been an upgrade for the first half of the season. Alan, why do you think United did so badly against Arsenal?
No. About the Cole Palmer FC and one player doing everything. I don't think I agree with that because there's only so much you can do. I think the reason why Arsenal is doing so well, for example, it's not just like Odegaard doing it. I think Rice has been amazing. I think Avi would agree with me that he could potentially be the player of the season. But it's Havertz, it's Odegaard, it's Rice, it's Saka at times, maybe not as much as last year, but
no, I think what Amitesh meant to say. I mean,
Arsenal is a different story.
I think what Amitesh meant to say is when a team is in the dumps, right? You just need one player to stand up and say, "Follow my lead," and he's going to uplift that team. Of course, Arsenal, City,
sure.
These teams are, they are functioning units.
Let's not get Arsenal into this equation. They've been a completely different entity this season. Like
I can't, guys. I can't.
This Arsenal, guys, it is Arsenal. It's a disgrace. There have been 8 last season. I can't believe we are talking about Arsenal and City being a different league. I mean, that is a reality. But it's so sad. Guys, this is Arsenal. Like, they're Asna. It's like till 2 years back, I used to keep binging on AFTV, and I still go back to 4 years back videos to find happiness, like Thai videos and all that. So I can't believe it, but yeah, that's where we find ourselves. Yeah, I like how you talked about mediocre teams and brought United doing bad, but I think what Ashwin said, we need 2 players per position and replacement for ACL injuries. Like none of you guys are acknowledging the number of injuries there, and it's not like, see, don't get me wrong, Liverpool had injuries last season, and some people say Newcastle had injuries this season, but why don't you guys analyze who are the players getting injured at United? I'm not saying that's the reason. Any good manager should get most of what they have right now, and I mean, Ten Hag is not a fraud. At the same time, he's not made good decisions, is what I would say. But I still back him over the fraud arguments. But anyway, so I don't want to take too much time. Let's see. Martinez is coming back for the Newcastle game, and hopefully some other players are back. And one last Martial goal and one last Varane. I think he's leaving. So it's going to be a massive overhaul. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people, it's a huge exodus going out of the club. So I think we could have a very good like a conversation about United, what's going to happen come the end of the season, I think. And then maybe an episode 2 days from now, which Avi would be asking for when Spurs win today. About how is he going to celebrate and all of that. So I think we can focus out of United for some time. Maybe before the FA Cup, we'll revisit it again.
The funniest bit would be if Tottenham win today and Arsenal fans celebrate and all of that, and on the final game week they bottle
Everton.
It. That would be the funniest story ever.
I need that. We need that.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, imagine and then we mess up completely.
All this talk about how Tottenham are great and Tottenham are the saviors, and Tottenham put in a stunning performance. They belt City 3-0 and Arsenal are like, yeah. And then who are Arsenal playing last game week? Bournemouth.
Sean Dyche masterclass for Everton.
Proper Sean Dyche long ball masterclass. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Cool.
Oh my god, it could happen, dude.
It could happen 100%. But it's like the fact that we've made it to game week 38 without knowing who the Premier League winners are, I think that's still a big plus.
No. We will be there, bro. I mean, I really want Arsenal to win because we don't want one more City record. Well, Amit, you're saying something.
I think it's shocking how many of us thought Liverpool might end up winning this season and how badly that turned out, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like 10 weeks back, I think, it was just, they were in it. They were completely in it, and we were all like, "Yeah, Klopp's last season, let's go."
Yeah, I'm
Liverpool.
super happy, man. The document, that Leonardo DiCaprio meme is there, right? Like as And the cameraman, like, filming this documentary is like, oh my God, what's good? This is super funny. So I'll be the first one to buy the documentary, whichever platform it's on. We will be there. Yeah. Even yesterday they bottled it against Emery, but the Spurs have something to fight for today, so that's pretty good to see.
Yeah,
Let's
we
see.
do.
They couldn't beat Chelsea. I doubt they're beating City.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I don't think they've got a shot.
I mean, I don't think so, but it's you can hope, right? It's very
Bro,
exciting.
big
I'm so
hands,
excited
bro.
to watch the game tonight.
Of
Like,
course,
I'm
of
really
course.
very excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashwin,
I think
what do you think about Barca season about Barca this season versus last season, and what you expect going into next season from Barca now that the season is done?
I mean, yeah, it's been a good season overall. Of course, we didn't win the trophy, so whenever you don't win trophies at Barcelona, it's always considered a bad season. But there were times during the season where we played like the really good football and the football that we wanted to play. And wherever our season has fallen apart, see, if you look back at it, our season falls apart when we lose to Madrid, and we lose when in this situation when we lose to PSG, right? And in all three games, it was like there were instances where, I mean, in all three games, we were clearly the better team. So we just need to capitalize. I mean, going into next season, we just need to capitalize on those mistakes. I mean, on those periods where we are doing really well and consolidate them and cut out the silly errors. Because the PSG game shouldn't have even gone anywhere if not for the Araujo red card. And both the Madrid games we lost in those final minutes because we lack of concentration. And say in the second Madrid game, we had a perfectly good goal ruled out. So all these minor things, we were the better team, but at the end of the day, the result went the other way. So I just feel like next season we just need to make sure that it doesn't get to a point where we are depending on those singular moments, and when we are dominant, we need to consolidate that dominance because there are periods where we continuously pepper the goal, but we don't get that goal, right? So I just feel like when we need to be more ruthless, we need to finish our chances better. We need to make sure that the games are put to bed so that there's no discussion of, oh, if that one decision had gone our way, how could it have been? Or if that half decision had gone our way, how would it have been? There's no point of having those discussions, especially against big teams like Madrid and all. It's better if we don't get to a point if you're already winning 4-0. It doesn't matter if you're getting a perfectly good goal ruled out, right? You're just like, whatever, this happens every time. So though that I think needs to change. We need to make sure that our dominant periods are rewarded. Of course, we need to stay fit, much fitter than we have been now. Pedri, Gavi, at at important stages of our season, we missed our main midfielders. So I'm sure that'll be sorted out next season. I'm really looking forward to it. But let's see. I mean, the same defense was Europe's best defense just one season ago. So it's not like there's some big influx or some big drop off or whatever. We are there. We'll be there again. We just need to, like I said, make sure that we capitalize on those dominant periods and cut out the silly individual errors, basically. Because every game we have lost has come from individual errors. There's not been one team that has come out and dominated us throughout the season. Of course, you would have seen only Europe, so I'm sure you wouldn't be able to like give a full picture. But I seeing all the 50-55 games we played, probably the only game in which we were dominated was that Super Cup final against Madrid. That was the only game. Like, so if you're telling me that we were dominated in one game out of 50, I would definitely take it. But at the end of the day, we need to make sure that other 49 we capitalize on the good periods.
Yeah.
Certificate of
Is it just
dominance.
or did it feel like
That's
Ashwin's
the only
talk
trophy
was-
he has winning. Sorry?
Sorry?
Certificate of dominance is the only trophy they won this season.
Dominance, they'll take the win. Okay.
Yeah, Abhi, what are you saying?
No, the moment has passed now. It's okay. Something.
No, you can carry on. It's okay. We'll
Wow.
all laugh at you. It's just an excuse to laugh at you.
No,
Come, you
I
can
was
tell
going to
us.
ask Ashwin, do you guys have to sell De Jong? Are all the economic levers all sorted? Like, what is the scene financially? Because I'm still
We don't
waiting.
need, I mean, we need to sell, but it's not like
Yeah.
what? And hear the last.
No, we are
what?
still waiting for Frankie. Apparently, we are still monitoring him, monitoring FC. Like, we're still
Look,
waiting for De Jong.
the whole thing is he doesn't want to come. Like even if we are ready to sell him, he doesn't want to leave Barcelona. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. On the economic bit, I'm as much as I know, I have read in recent times, we are okay. We have like a new sponsorship coming in and all. Not okay enough to like make like big signings and all, but it's not like we need to sell our stars and all. If a good offer comes, for sure, we are definitely looking to like sell Rafinha. Where I mean, we wouldn't mind getting rid of maybe a defender or two, but like yeah, we do need a pivot. So when that Kimmich contract comes to his final year, maybe we'll go for him. But apart from that, I don't think like we need to sell Frankie. And even if we want to, I genuinely don't think he wants to leave. So it's like
Yeah, I
it's
mean, he's
pretty much.
on amazing wages. He would not
Yeah.
do that
And
anywhere
he
else in
said
the world. So
he has a good life in Barcelona, and whenever he plays, he's amazing. The only reason we last season we tried to push him out was because he was the most highest paying asset. One, we could get like 100 million for him and also get his salary off the books. That was the only reason we were like, okay, please leave. Not because he's not been a good player for us. He's been absolutely
oh,
stunning.
he's amazing.
But now
Yeah.
that our finances are not that bad, and now that we know like we have a couple of players, we João Felix will go back, so his salary is off the books. Cancelo might not come back, so his salary is off the books. Then we have Rafinha might go to Saudi, and Saudi will pay any money you ask them to. So like we can pull some
Saudi,
89.
Saudi,
We can pull
Rafinha,
some
how
89,
old is he?
29, 28, 29, something like that.
Oh,
Oh,
What a waste of
So
a career.
we can ask for a crazy amount and they'll pay. It just depends on him wanting to go or not. And the best part is we our youngster factory is like churning out some brilliant talents. So it's not like we need to go out there and like buy a superstar. We need to get like proper role players who can fit the team well. And like I was saying before, we need those 22 players at the end of the day. Right now we only have like 15 or 16 who can play. So that kind of like limits our options. But I'm sure we'll figure it out, and I'm sure we'll be back next season.
yeah.
that's like me being sure about United's success. Like Mbappe is coming and then bro is churning out defenders when people from La Masia. Like, I mean, I like a Barca success story, even after all the sad finals we lost to them. But we want the old Barca, the dominance with Madrid, and we need the Barca's versus Madrid's in the finals, not some
Yes.
Dortmunds. Yeah,
No,
maybe
Oh,
but
but
no offense.
I think it'll be really exciting towards the UCL final. You start talking about Dortmund. I think it's going to be a exciting game. It's like a throwback to 2013.
Yeah, but it's someone else. It's Madrid. I mean, it could have been someone, but Tuchel thought differently, I guess.
yeah, Tuchel was like, ha ha.
So that's not happening. Wembley repeat.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, I'm getting out of this club. I'm taking all of you with me.
Apparently, no one's willing to coach Bayern or something. That's the last
Yeah,
report
yeah.
I saw.
Oh, I think Eric Ten Hag or someone. The
Oh,
news was,
they saw the Palace game and they're like, okay, it's good, bro. You stay there. Uh,
no, but I remember last season when Liverpool were having a very bad season. Everyone knew going into this season, Liverpool were going to be one of the favorites, the contenders for the Premier League, right? I have a very strong feeling this is Chelsea for next season. I'm very sure you guys will be competing because I think I was listening to the Pochettino, his talk after the match, right? His post match talk, the one with the one you all won, right? And he sounded very confident. He sounded very happy and positive. So, like whatever questions are thrown at him, like if you were in a
He
bad
answered.
mood, you were not pissed. Like you could have easily shut down those questions, but he answered them very nicely, and there was a lot of positivity. In fact, in Chelsea, I think ever since the Arsenal game, you guys have been on a very very good run. Well, have been actually
Yeah.
doing very well. So, like how Liverpool were last season, I see that happening with Chelsea next season. I'm pretty sure you guys will be competing along with Arsenal, City. Um, I can't say that about United. That's the point I was going to come to. I don't see you all competing for the title. Even you guys are going to aim for a top four, is what I feel, and you guys might be content with that. But I feel, after having a bad season, you all should ideally be competing for the title. I don't think United
who?
fans, you all should
Chelsea.
come. No, United.
United.
United, bro. We are competing for top six. I think when Ashwin told about Chelsea going there and you are saying Chelsea is going to fight for the title, So okay, City, Arsenal. I think that's top two decided. We're not sure how Liverpool will fit into the mix. I think Chelsea has a strong chance for 3 and 4, along with your Aston Villas and Newcastle with investment coming in. I think Spurs is something to watch out for because it could all come crashing down if they continue the current form what they're on. Even against Burnley, they almost bottled it, but I think they had enough chances to win that game. Um, United, we're not sure, right? Like it could be a new manager, new set of players, and all of that. So I think the fourth spot is up for grabs, and the fifth and sixth. But I think we are just competing for that fourth spot, if not fifth and sixth. So I was thinking more of Europa League, but that's like we have roofs to repair and the leaks and all those things. Like we have different problems. So I think it's going to be a big thing to look out for. I think United, and it's always a story, right? Like I think United's roof leaking is bigger than City's four-peat win. It's crazy. Like City has won what 7 out of the last 8 leagues or 6 out of 7. So I mean, it's really going to the radar. And I'm looking out personally for the 115 charges decision. I know the result, but what's going to happen. But it's going to be super fun if that's something were to happen regarding that. I think that's the only thing as a United fan we are looking forward to because there's literally nothing optimistic. Like all of you have rightly said. I fail to see what can go right. But the only thing is, I think this is a freak season in terms of injuries, and it can't be that bad. If it's that bad, then I think Avi, you can make the move to UK and find out from a sports medicine angle what's going on. I think we already touched upon this last episode when Abhinav was not there. That's why I don't know, keep talking about it, but we'll be there. Again, I don't mind talking about injuries.
On that note, I think we have a very, very exciting week, both from an IPL and from a Premier League point of view, right? At least I'm just thinking,
that's
Premier League ends, what do we do next? But there's so much more. There's IPL, and then after that, you have your Champions League finals, and then there's the entire Cricket World Cup left. There's Roland Garros in between. There's NBA playoffs. There's F1. There's so much. There's so
There's
much.
Copa America and Euros also. Don't forget.
Euros also this year.
Messi's playing for Whites again, right? After achieving the almost, I'll be there, bro.
Messi's going to pull off for Dhoni.
Yeah, but he's
Messi
actually going to
walking
contribute to victory, so it's okay.
Oh no!
Oh,
18th.
When Messi passes, be like, the same pass which Anthony can do. Yeah, we'll be there for that. Yeah, even Ronaldo there. So I mean, it's kind of like cancels. So
Yeah.
Let's see.
Anyway,
yeah, exciting times, exciting episodes ahead, guys. Please let us know in the comments if you guys are looking for something different. But I think we are covering all sports. I think we'll have a basketball episode as well if you guys are up for it. Not with me because I don't know anything about it.
neither do I.
Okay.
Alan has trauma from United.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Cool. So thanks, guys. Any last words before the? I'm looking for a City. I'm sorry, Spurs win. So for an exciting game week ahead. I think I gave me enough emotion.
Bottle that. I think you bottled that.
Yeah.
It's been bottling because there's a lot of water there now.
On that note, I think we can call it
On that
a
note,
night. See you guys.
Good
See you
night.
guys in the next one.
Yeah.
see you. Come on, you Spurs.